because basically start this off with like one of the things I remember most about this movie is that there is a Perfect Circle song called Passive that was also a song that was a major part of the marketing for this movie.
And then we started listing a bunch of songs, and then I got to the fact that Bring Me to Life was from the Daredevil soundtrack. None of y'all believed me. Here's what we have. A song was released April 22nd, 2003. Daredevil came out Valentine's Day, 2003.
But does like the music video for Evanescence Bring Me to Life also have Daredevil in it?
No.
Yeah, that's like the whole crux of
because like I think the song that was made for Daredevil was Rob Zombie's The Man Without Fear.
Hold on. I'm literally reading right here. The accompanying music video. After the success of the video, the lead singer received film offers. Talking about the videos, the director said, on one hand, it brings out the most catchy part of the song. On the other hand, it reflects the Daredevil soundtrack background of the song.
Oof, there we go. Because then we were talking about Kiss from a Rose by Seal.
I think is that the biggest one?
And then there was Prince had a Batman song for.
Prince he did the whole soundtrack.
Yeah,
he did the whole soundtrack for that.
Amazing soundtrack.
But the big song was "Let's Get Crazy" for the awesome Michael Keaton line. "Let's get crazy, let's get nuts."
Oh, I think "Do the Bat Dance" was another, "Do the Batman."
I remember like from the time of this movie, Sum 41 did the song for, was it Spider-Man 2?
That was the other one with Shag Kroger and Saliva Man with Hero.
Yeah.
That was for the first movie.
And then you had Vindicated for Spider-Man 2. That was Dashboard Confessional.
Oh, did Sum 41 do the third movie?
No, Sum 41 was on Spider-Man 1 soundtrack, but it wasn't like a lead single. It was What We're All About, I think it was.
It was Sum 41 and one of the guitars from Slayer.
If you had told me that Sum 41 did the song that Evil Peter did while he was dancing on the street, I would have believed you.
Nice.
Having rewatched those movies last year, 3 is not as bad as you think it is. If you cut out all of the Eddie Brock stuff, you're like, oh, it's a movie. It just that doesn't need to exist.
Yeah, I would probably honestly believe that. Like, it's like I haven't seen Spider-Man 3 since 2007, and in the zeitgeist of it, it was just like, what the fuck is this? But like at the same time, I actually was never like a big defender of the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans.
Yeah. All right, so we should actually talk about this, the movie we're going to watch. So if you listen to the last episode of Annal Comics, we read the John Constantine comic that this was based on, which was, I just lost, what was it? Bad Habits? Dangerous Habits by Garth Ennis. So this came out February 17, 2005, or February 18, 2005, which... basically, so the budget was $100 million. It grossed worldwide 230. Most of that money was overseas, as it only made about 76 here. One of the big things, because it was kind of a bomb. I guess you would say it was a bomb in the States, right?
I wouldn't consider this a bomb.
It didn't make its budget here.
Sure, but I think like also like it never like it's like when you kind of like would talk about like different films of like this era where you had like a Catwoman was a bomb. Like
that's like an epic bomb. Yeah.
Like I never really ever heard anyone kind of talk about this movie as being like a total bomb.
I remember my dad really liked it, but I think we've been over this. He likes some garbage.
Well, this movie has like, I think most people who have seen it like it.
Yeah, like even people who like I was listening to Movie Fighters, which is like the War Rocket Ajax's like movie review show, which they do like once every like 2 months, and I listened to the episode they did with Constantine, and they were like big Hellblazer fans, and they had never seen the movie, and they're like, it's not as bad as you think it's going to be.
Yeah, well, I think the problem was because this is like kind of the end of like that era. What would you say that's like the fourth wave of the second wave or the third wave of comic book movies? No, actually probably 3 or 4, right? Because I would say you'd have like the Superman, then you have the Batman era,
Yeah.
And then you have like the weird in the Batman era, you have like the weird pulp characters. And then you have the Spider-Man X-Men era, which is where this exists.
The third. Yeah. And I think the third era also is like Ghost Rider, Daredevil,
the two Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah, and I think like this ends like in 2007 with the release of Spider-Man 3, because the following year is basically the 1-2 punch of Batman Begins and Iron Man. And that's basically just like that next phase.
Yeah, the end of this era is the Spider-Man 3, and I would say like X-Men 3. I know they did other ones in that universe, but that's the cutoff. So this came out the year that this came out. So this was 29th that year. The big movies of the year: Revenge of the Sith. Goblet of Fire, War of the Worlds, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So we have one of our people in this. Wedding Crashers, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Batman Begins, Madagascar, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and Hitch is at number 10.
Wait, Batman Begins was not 2005.
That's where it has in 2005.
Batman Begins came out in 2005?
Yeah, dog.
Oh, man. Maybe I'm thinking also Dark Knight was the same year.
Dark Knight came out in 2007.
Yeah. So it's the same year as this movie. You have Batman Begins and the 2005 Fantastic Four. That's the Michael Chiklis, Captain America, Chris Evans, and Jessica Alba.
Yeah, and Batman Begins, like, now that I kind of think about it, has like kind of like one shoe in like the post world and one shoe in the after world, where it's like,
and this is a crazy year for movies. Like, I'm going through, it's like you have 40-Year-Old Virgin, Sin City, which Constantine beat out.
Ooh, that movie's so good.
Sky High, which is like a sort of in the comic book. Herbie Fully
that
Loaded.
Movie's so good.
I love Sky High.
So good. Really good.
But yeah, this is like the 2005 is a good year for movies. There's some bad movies in here, but it's pretty good movies. The Legend of Zorro came out in 2005.
Oh, dude, I love that. At least
the second
when I was
one,
a kid, I loved it. Yeah. Well,
the first one is better.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember the second one because I was like,
the first 10? Legend of Zorro is like the only like pulp hero revival that like actually works. Like Shadow doesn't work, Phantom doesn't work. Come hell or high water, like, man, Zorro kind of worked.
Okay, I'm going down the list further. So you also have Doom, the one with The Rock.
Oof, yikes.
Stealth.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, one of the biggest bombs of all time, which is that
the movie about the
plane,
the sentient plane.
Ocean's 12, which is the worst of those movies.
Yep,
which worst just one. Beat out Aeon Flux.
Ooh, that movie's bad.
Which is a couple ahead of Elektra.
I heard that movie's like not as bad.
I've seen chunks of it. I'i've never seen the full thing. It's not good.
Yeah, I've never seen the whole movie.
Like, I hear that movie is just like, you don't blame anyone really involved. You blame like the people making it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's of that era. It's like Batman Begins is, and I would actually put Constantine in that. It's just that like they're kind of don't fit into this like early 2000s comic book movies compared to everything else. It's like because Constantine fits more. I wouldn't even say it's not really comparable to the older Hellboys. Like, it's so dark. I think that's where it has a lot more in common with Batman Begins. And what really hurt it was because I think this is when people started to take comic book fandom, like what they think of movies, more seriously. And people are like, well, he's not British and he has black hair and it's not in England. And
I think like also maybe there is like a little bit of fatigue at this point.
Yeah, well, I think that's the style fatigue, but not the comic. Like, I don't like the idea of like comic movie. It's like the style fatigue, which it's like all those other things. And I think Constantine kind of got bogged down by that stuff. Where Batman Begins, like, because it's not comic booky because he's not really a comic book-y-esque character, no capes and stuff.
Do you know? Okay. So, do you know about the weekend that Constantine is released? Because I'm looking at it now. So, okay. So the number one film that opened up on the weekend that Constantine was released was Hitch, which was its second weekend. Which Hitch was like a huge juggernaut. So
that's
like,
the weird Will Smith as like a trying to help the other guy,
Kevin James,
Kevin James movie.
Yeah, pick up ours. Yeah. So Hitch made 31 million. Constantine came in number 2 at 29 million.
That's
Almost
pretty
30
good.
million. Yeah, not bad. Number 3 is a movie called Because of Winn-Dixie.
Oh, that's about the dog.
Yes. Number 4 is one of the biggest box office bombs of all time, Son of the Mask.
Oh, I saw that on the list, and I didn't think it was like relevant enough to bring up. That's the Jamie Kennedy one, right?
It is. Oh my. Yeah. Oh my god.
So yeah, like it's like a weird. Like I feel like it's a good year for movies. Strangely, like I saw this in the theater. The Siler, did you see this in the theater?
I'm like pretty sure I did.
Okay, because this is I think we're the same age. This is like came out my senior year of high school, right around my birthday, so I definitely saw this. This was also a rated R comic book movie, which
were not many.
Yeah.
There was Sin City, this
which came out the same year. So
yeah.
So yeah, like, and then the other two guys, you have not seen it. I would say before we jump into it, so strangely, we have 2 live action Constantines at this point. The other one is now Matt Ryan, who's kind of like beyond owned the role. So he had a TV show, then it got spun, like canceled on NBC, and then he got kind of put into Arrow and the Arrowverse, and he's now on Legends of Tomorrow as like one of the featured characters on it. Always rumors of him like getting a spinoff. He's done all the voice work for all the animated stuff. Yep, all the animated stuff since he's taken over. And he's, I think, as physically close to the character that we see on the page as we'll ever get.
We're talking about the TV shows or Matt Ryan?
Yeah, the Matt Ryan version.
Sorry, I've had technical difficulties on my end, so I apologize about that.
Yeah. So, like, compare, like, obviously this came out first, but, like, it's the 2 live action ones, and it's like they went the exact opposite, because you don't get any of the things. Keanu's got dark hair, he's American, and he doesn't wear a, like, trench coat.
No, he's got a cool suit. That's how you know he's American.
I think he has, like...
And he's Keanu goddamn Reeves.
He has a trench coat, but it's a dark trench coat, though. Like, it's weirdly, this is at a time period where, like, they were afraid to make a lead, like, I guess to, like, make an American movie with, like, a British character as a lead, like one of these comic book movies.
I mean, they're still kind of doing that. Like, they want to reboot Doctor Who in America, but with, like, an American setting, which doesn't make any sense. Why not just keep doing Doctor Who?
And this is also has the whole, back in the day, people sent movies to February to die. And you kind of see that with, like, when this movie comes out. This is, like, the week of Valentine's Day, I guess, in 2005.
Which is, like, funny because, like, if I remember right, a year prior to this, or maybe 2 years beforehand, like, Daredevil has, like, this release date and, like, does super well. And
yes.
And like I don't want to even like want to try and guess like what was the 2014 or 2004 like superhero film, but like I feel like afterwards, like February kind of because like also like as we we're talking about before, Hitch came out this weekend or the week before, which ended up like doing gangbusters. But I think this is like kind of like around the time like maybe like, oh hey, we don't really have to like release our films in either like the winter or the summer to make money. We can kind of like release our films like whenever. Like even now, like basically you can release your films at any date except for January and September, and you're considered like a good month. But like January is kind of slowly changing into like, maybe we don't really have to treat January like a dump month.
Oh, do you know what the big release was in February of 2004?
I could not tell you.
The Passion of the Christ.
Yeah. Which, hey, the highest grossing R-rated film of all time.
Yeah. Number 2 that month was 50 First Dates.
Wow.
Which Passion of the Christ did like $50 million more.
What polar opposites of movies.
I like 50 First Dates.
So
it's a fun movie. It's might be the best Drew Barrymore Adam Sandler movie.
I mean, like The Wedding Singer, I think is better.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh yeah.
I guess I wrote like how many? Have they done 4 movies together or 3?
I think 3 because the third one's
they did a really bad one where they go to Africa, right?
It's called Blended. It's bad.
Yikes.
So
the one thing I want to bring up before we get into the movie is like maybe like a couple like production notes. This movie originally was planned as far back as 97. Paul Hunter was originally attached to direct, and he was like a big music video director, which is like not a big deal because I think people kind of like forget like the 90s was like, hey, there's like a lot of really good shot music videos, and a lot of those people end up actually getting jobs in Hollywood at a later date. Like
Spike Jonze, like number 1.
Yeah, Spike Jonze, Michael Bay, Mick G, David. Oh my God, the guy who directed Seven and Fight Club. David.
David Fincher.
David Fincher. Like he's a music video director.
No way, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, I believe he's done some stuff. And then Taram Sin was then put in charge to direct, and he's the guy who directed The Cell. Which, hey, the guy who directed The Cell directing a Constantine movie sounds really rad, on paper.
The Cell's a crazy ass movie.
Warner Brothers hoped that he would begin filming in 2002 with longtime favorite Nicolas Cage as the head role of Constantine.
That movie would have rolled so hard. Like, don't get me wrong, Keanu Reeves is really good, but like if Nick Cage was Constantine, whole different level of.
I kind of actually agree. I think he could have. It would have been a very different character. Well, but like manic Nick Cage would have been really interesting.
Well, Nick Cage is like really faithful to the characters, so like.
Well, he's a comic book nerd. Like,
exactly. So like we could take at least a little comfort in knowing that he would pay attention to who Constantine was.
It's why those like 2 Ghost Rider movies exist. The fact that there's even a second one after the first one, which is actually a better movie.
But Singh ended up dropping out, a move that inspired dueling lawsuits from him and Warner Brothers. Keanu Reeves became attached in 2002. Alan Moore, original creator of John Constantine, had been disappointed by previous adaptations of his other comics, From Hell and The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which, hey, man, if I was Alan Moore and then I saw League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, I would also be very disappointed.
It's not a good movie, but I also love that movie.
He refused credit for the film and asked that his royalties be distributed among the other creators. Pretty much like the same, like, output
thing that he always does.
Yeah, the same, which I mean is like kind of nice of him, where he's like, "Hey man, I don't want the paycheck, but like, hey, give it to the other people that did work on the book." But this movie ended up being directed by Francis Lawrence, who went on to, was also a successful music video director. He later on went to direct I Am Legend, starring Will Smith, Water for Elephants, which was the romantic film with Robert Pattinson. He also directed Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, Part 2, and most recently directed Red Sparrow, which was the Black
Widow movie?
The not Black Widow starring Jennifer Lawrence film.
And the only other thing I want to add to all that is they changed the original title. It was supposed to come out as Hellblazer, but because Hellboy came out so close before it, they changed the title. And a huge chunk of the movie cut an entire plot point. Basically, the entire actress's role is like cut from the film.
The thing I also see is that they also changed Hellblazer to Constantine was to avoid confusion with Clive Barker Hellraiser.
Oh, that's hilariously dumb, but yeah, that makes sense at the same time. Yeah, because the character from the comic we read, Ellie, is in the movie, but you wouldn't know it because she has like I think one speaking line in the cut, but she had an entire subplot with her and Constantine being a couple. So
Okay.
all right, so we are going to start the movie in 3, 2, 1.
And we're off.
So we are getting I think this is 20th Century Fox. Nope, Warner Brothers. I lied.
Yeah. It's like we've like really like run into the problem that we actually are watching X3.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot how the Vertigo logo. I wonder if Watchmen has that.
I miss that Vertigo logo.
Yeah.
It's a shame that DC didn't really care about that brand.
He who possesses the Spear of Destiny holds the fate of the world in his hands. And the spear has been missing since World War II. Hey, isn't it funny that like
what is this, an Evangelion movie?
I was gonna say Evangelion, Mexico.
God, I wish it was.
No, it looks like it hasn't like Juarez, right?
You guys hear me?
Yes. Isn't the spear part of Hellboy as well?
Yeah.
Or is it just mentioned in Hellboy, the 2005 movie?
In Hellboy, yeah.
Okay.
I feel like if you're like if you're doing any kind of like religious storytelling, the spear shows up at some point within your story.
Yeah. I feel like the only movies I really remember or the only things I remember it in is this and Evangelion.
Yeah.
Oh, I did read. So I'll wait.
Oh wow. Classic.
Yes. I actually like the design. I think it looks
Mexican zombies or Nazis.
Mexican zombie Nazi.
That they did burn that Nazi flag so it didn't fall into anybody's hands, but the Nazis didn't go to Mexico. They went to Brazil and what was it? Argentina?
Yeah, that's where Hellboy kind of takes their notes.
Yeah. Oh shit. I did not remember that.
I've had computer issues all day, so I apologize.
No, you're good. Oh, wow, that's some good CGI vein work.
Man, that's some good vein work there, guys.
Oh, I did not remember that this opening just like that cold open is so good. Los Angeles.
Kind of like England.
This is also a Los Angeles that I feel like looks nothing like Los Angeles, but looks like New York, if I remember correctly. I don't remember where they filmed, though.
You ever just like walk in and see somebody on the roof?
That's actually like such. I thought that was a pretty good effect, though.
Oh, it is. It's really good. It's really cool looking.
Oh, this is also a time when, like, I think the rule at this point was if a character or your good guy smoked cigarettes, it was automatically an R-rated movie.
God, if that's what got it the R rating, that's so funny.
Oh, it's not, but like,
guys, look, cigarettes because he smokes, because like the comics.
God, I want that lighter though. All right, so if you want to catch up, we are at the 4-minute and 50-second mark.
All right, so 3, 2, 1, play.
I mean, he looks cool. I'll give him that much.
He's just that type of actor.
Yeah, it's Keanu Reeves. I mean, what else am I gonna expect?
Yeah, I need to look and see what else he had done around this time.
I like
Matrix.
I like this idea that he has like a keychain that basically is okay, like what demon am I dealing with right now?
That's such a fun little gimmick.
Okay, yeah. I think I'm looking. This was the first movie he did after the Matrix trilogy.
Oh, there we go. I'm John Constantine, asshole.
Yeah, so this is right before Scanner Darkly and The Lake House.
God, I love Scanner Darkly.
Ooh, these effects are pretty good.
You know, the creature design and a lot of the effects are really good in this movie. At least from what I've seen.
Yeah, there is some like wonky. I'm trying to remember if there's only like one character that I think is like a big CGI character we get later on.
Hello.
Classic Neckman.
I just punched a child in the throat.
Hey man, demon needs a good throat punch every once in a while.
It's how you grow a balance.
Yeah. I would say right now what this movie's doing good is showing tension. Oh, look who it is.
Oh, there he is.
It's our boy.
So Chaz is like, as we write, a comic book character.
I'm Chaz Kramer, asshole.
So I did read he got this part because
Was it by robot?
Yeah, because Will Smith, what do you call it? Yeah, told Akiva Goldsmith to check him out.
Oh, did he write this movie? Akiva Gold.
He might have produced it.
Let me see. Hang
No, he did not write it.
Oh, thank God.
No, it's written by Kevin Broadbent and Frank Capello.
Okay, that's better because I would rather him not go near any more DC properties after this. Employee-wise,
Kevin Broadbent has not written anything good ever.
Oh, what did he get lucky?
Yeah, he wrote his first big movie writing was The Glimmer Man, and then which is the Keenan Ivory Wayne Steven Seagal movie.
I've heard.
Oh, and then Mindhunters, the movie. Oh.
I love the monster design. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's a cool...
It's what Hellboy should have had.
Yeah. Which, I like that it's, like a half face. Like, its head is cut off.
Yeah, and it's got, like, this weird membrane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the design of this a lot. It looks very... you can tell where he got the design for, like, I Am Legend vampires.
Yeah.
That's a really cool scene.
It's a great
intro. That's a cool intro.
Like a second cold open. Like, in our first cold open, we have a Mexican guy find a Nazi-covered spear tip and then get hit by a car and get up. And our second cold open is this.
Yeah, it rules. This movie is awesome already.
I also get why he would do this post-Matrix because... Oh.
Is this his first film post-Matrix?
Like his first film of any worth. I think he had 3 films come out this year, 2005.
Checking that.
He did Something's Gotta Give in 03, Ellie Parker in 05, Thumbsucker in 05, and Constantine in 05.
I remember Thumbsucker kind of being a hot movie for, the year it came out.
But Something's Gotta Give was a pretty popular movie. That was the same year as The Matrix.
Yeah, but Something's Gotta Give is like a big ensemble cast. That's a Jack Nicholson movie. He's third build. Like, this is his first, like leading man role, I guess, post Matrix. That was like really big, like especially as an action movie. I also like that we're getting like 2 sidekick friends already in this opening,
and it doesn't feel rushed. Like they feel very well integrated into the story.
And we already know a lot about him. Like Chaz is like a wannabe
exorcist.
He wants to be John.
Yeah, he wants to be John, and the other guy is like an alcoholic priest.
He's what could be for John.
Here's the thing: my first exposure to Chaz was the Constantine animated movie, and Chaz was obviously much older, so this is a bit of a whiplash.
Oh, he's always like in the Constantine show. Oh, I remember seeing that when this came out. I mean, like, fuck, that was awesome.
God,
like the opening of the blinds.
I wish I lived in an apartment like this.
God, I wish I could live in a big apartment.
Wish I could live in an apartment.
I do.
Man,
I just noticed this has like a similar color to like L.A. Noire. Is that the right movie I'm thinking of? L.A. Confidential.
Yeah, I was gonna say L.A. Noire is the game.
Yeah, no, L.A. where it's like kind of yellow-ish.
Yeah, which, by the way, like I love a lot more than, say, like everything being like this blue tint.
Yeah.
So, like,
also, this movie has like secretly like a fucking crazy ass amazing cast.
It's got Tilda Swinton, so it's already like up there.
It's got Tilda Swinton, and this is Rachel Weisz, who's like a
Tilda
legit.
Swinton, I was gonna say Tilda Swinton, who's a total babe.
Yeah, no, she's my barometer. Like, if she's in a movie, I'm gonna like it regardless.
You have Keanu, Rachel, like Shia, Tilda Swinton, Iman Hunsu's in this movie, who's always a welcome presence in my mind.
His first DC work.
His first
that's right.
His first comic book work, right?
Well, yeah, because then a couple of years later, he works for Marvel as Korvac for Guardians, and then he's the Wizard Shazam.
And then he's back in Captain Marvel. He's in both Captain Marvel movies.
Oh yeah, he's Korvac in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I want to see.
You ever think after this movie, Rachel Weisz like kind of knows now how to deal with demons between this and the Mummy movies?
That's what I was actually going to look. How long was this after the second Mummy movie? And it's
I think it's like 2 years, 3 years.
4 years.
4? Really?
Yeah, because the Mummy
Returns is 01.
Yeah, so she's already.
The Mummy Returns starring The Rock.
Can we watch that next year on its 20th anniversary?
Oh my god!
I'm not opposed to that.
So she's already like, she's pretty big at this point because she's done About a Boy and Runaway Jury.
And then Aragon would happen next year.
She's in Aragon?
He's the dragon.
This is a really cool shot.
Wait, who's the dragon?
Cool shot,
like this
is
like this shot.
Wait, really?
Like this shot
is
like
the dragon in Aragon.
That was
this shot is like the kind of shot that I was like, oh, like yeah, this is a music video director because it's like like it's like a very good symmetry shot.
Yeah, that spinning shot too was really good. Like going out and then going into her face.
I like that cat.
Oh, and like this is basically
all cats are good cats.
This is true.
And that's basically our shot from the comic book.
Yeah, except for he's not like overflowing a gross toilet.
Well, that was the second time he starts puking. He also looks like shit in this movie, and I respect it. And it looks like he's sick.
Well, this is like Keanu Reeves was kind of going back into his lull before he had his career resurgence.
Well, this is like his action movie that fails, and then he does rom-coms for like a good 5 years.
I mean, this is like post-Matrix, where it's like he's like kind of reestablishing himself, and he kind of really doesn't until John Wick.
No, he goes. Yeah, he was like a child, like not a child, but like a teen actor. Then he basically did like he tried to do this, and then he basically then's like, all right, then I'm just gonna bank money, and he does like the Lake House.
Day the Earth Stood Still remake.
Oh my god, I forgot that was just. Then he does like a couple of weird movies, like Man from Tai Chi and 47.
Well, he
Ronin.
directed that. Well, he directed Man of Tai Chi.
Yeah, but like those are like the kind of movies he wants to.
Yeah.
Like it's like I feel like he wants to be like
to be fair,
actor,
he was
action star, which John Wick
also
is like a genre action star.
Yeah.
Also in Street Kings, which is a pretty He's also in Street Kings, which is a pretty underrated movie.
Yeah. But he was also already an action star. Like he started as like, or his mid tier was an action star because between Speed and
Break.
No, what's the other one? Point Break.
Okay. Quick thing here. Okay, so unless you like didn't realize it, Rachel Weisz has a twin, and the dream she had was about Rachel Weisz's twin, like jumping off and dying. So I think from here on out, we should have Rachel Weisz, and then if we refer to her twin, it's Rachel twice.
Okay. I also want to point out.
And I thank you for pointing that.
So Rachel Weisz's character has a cross, which you can is very well framed in this shot.
Yeah. Because she doesn't believe that her sister could have committed suicide because
she's super Catholic.
Yeah, because if she committed suicide, that means she's in hell, and that cannot be what happened.
Also, I want to note that Spanish actor, which I should look up his name, is a gigantic Hispanic character actor who was also part of. Oh, look, it was their meet cute. Oh my god, gotta find his name. He's the uncle for the Ghost Rider that's in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that basically helps turn him into Ghost Rider in that show.
Really?
Cool.
Yeah.
He's got his feet in both universes.
I think this is basically a Nubis from JoJo.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it is.
What the hello?
I don't have enough like bare, like perfectly sculpted ass cheek though.
This is like some really good fucking imagery right here.
All like the cows dying?
Yeah. And also his sweet ass high jump.
Yes.
Like he grabbed the bare barbed wire with his hands.
By the way, I just looked at the cast list. I just found out who Peter Stormare is playing, and considering I am...
Oh, you ruined something. You have to wait for it. Don't talk about it. Don't ruin it for Connor. Let it be.
I ruined myself. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's look at the cast list, trying to find that guy, and I saw the name. I'm like, God damn it.
Like how you can see that he has a tattoo under his sleeve there. And now we're introduced to Third Buddy.
He's in the comic, right?
Yeah, all these characters in the comic, but this is his cue. So he's got holy hand grenades. He's got bullet shavings from the Pope's assassination. Some sort of weird bug thing. But again, like Keanu looks like shit, and I like it.
He also just looks like a cynical asshole here.
You never see him playing like the smarmy asshole, and this is like a fun change of pace for him.
Yeah, even Neo in the beginning in the first Matrix movie isn't like he's just a guy.
Yeah. All right, so now we're getting some lore dump.
demons using us as finger puppets, just like num num num.
Yeah. Oh, I'd have to say that last thing that they don't explain is supposed to be a piece of the Shroud of Turin. That like cloth that he had in his hand.
Oh, okay.
Hey, look, a DC drop.
I like that he has a general skinny fellow with a fat friend. So who are you implying, John? Are you? That sounds
Okay.
like.
This is a scene where everybody's going to be quiet because it's one, it's completely cut from the comic, and two, it's one of the best scenes. Oh. I bet she clocked him already.
He is a certain type of guy.
There she is.
God, I love her.
Oh, that guy was in Riverdale, I think.
And I think it's super
Yeah,
funny.
he was.
Like, just thinking now that it's like I understand like the Catholic Church. It is just like, it's like we're not gonna do things based off of like certain rules, but like it's still just like, hey, can we please like have my sister like have a Catholic funeral? And they're like, no, she committed suicide. Fuck off. It's like it's so weird. Even someone like me who grew up within the Catholic Church, like it just seems like so weird to have.
Old.
But then again, like at the end of the day, I'm not Catholic anymore, and maybe that's why.
Yeah, no, it happens.
Now, I'll wait till the scene is over because I have a very vital and important question to ask.
Yeah. I do like this. Did you guys clock this conversation? So like he's like, can I get an extension? She's like, no. He's like, what about all the good I've done? It's like, what about belief? And I believe. It's like, no, that's different.
Yeah, because basically the idea that John Constantine is doing all this good to basically make up for like killing himself at some point. And
well, we didn't know that yet, but yes.
Well, I'm sorry, yeah, but basically it's like the idea that he's like trying to make up, and it's like no matter like what he does, it does not make up for the mortal sin of yourself.
Which I like as a mortal sin better than the version in the comics.
Yeah, which by the way, hey, a 2015 comic book movie dealing with like mortal sin and killing yourself as like a main theme of the film is like not what I would have saw.
It's really rare to see in modern cinema, let alone something from 15 years ago.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of 15 years ago, there will be a reunion panel happening this month, I think, at Comic-Con at home.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's talked about that he's interested in doing the character again. But yeah, that was a good.
Tilda Swinton is so good.
I want her to say that to me.
Now, Lou, I have an important question.
Mm-hmm.
In this universe, is Keanu Reeves' John Constantine still the bottom of the King Shark?
Yes.
I don't think I would hope so, but I was trying to remember I don't think they go into his sexuality at all in this.
They don't.
I don't think that I don't even remember if they do like a thing with him and Rachel Weisz.
I don't think they do. I'm guessing off of trailers. I don't think they do.
I do have to say, if in the comics, his mortal sin is that he tried to kill his father, who beat his mom. I believe that's his like mortal sin there.
Yeah, which by the way, like I'm not like a religious guy, but like killing your dad who's beating your mom's not.
I know. I don't even think he kills him. I think it's like attempted. This is also awesomely done right here. This is so much creepier than anything Hellboy did. It's just a guy rubbing his hands across newspapers.
Yes, quick time.
And man, like
a whole generation.
The fact that she's even using a Mac is like way too advanced.
And the fact that we can't hear the fans on that Mac is also very unrealistic.
Also, what security camera? One has audio.
Two has that good close-up shots.
Yeah,
it's a thing in movies where they always use like the actual camera as the security camera, and it always bugs me.
I mean, like hey.
I know. It's just like a small thing that does.
Also, I guess I'm realizing in this, I feel like Rachel Weisz's power as an actress is having cry eyes. Like she has very good like I am about to or I just finished crying.
I mean, there are a whole scream queens. We got to have a whole generation or a whole like sector
that's a fax machine.
Oh god.
And she has two different house phones.
Oh no, a landline.
She has two different landlines and a landline, a fax, a cell.
She has a cell phone, a fax line, and a home phone.
Does she have two cell phones?
Okay. Do you ever think that the demons are just like, quick, it's a massive prank phone call?
Yeah. Because, like, Hell's Demons are all about prank phone calls. They're like the Jerky Boys. The Jerky Boys.
Yeah.
The Jerky Boys were all, like, demons.
I do like that him just pounding cough syrup is, like, a cool Equinox. That is a great, like, in-movie ad that, like, actually plays to the plot. I think this is their version of the toilet scene, Siler.
Yeah. Oh, with that fake rat. And
that was a real rat and a crab.
It's Death Stranding.
Slow roar is just going to start playing in the background.
I'll keep coming.
Yeah, this is the bad CGI thing I remember. But it's not as bad as I remember.
Those all locusts?
They're roaches.
I think they're just...
And centipedes.
It's venom.
And snakes, that was pretty bad.
Oh, that's bad. Ooh.
The face. Hey, it looks like Dr. Doom.
It does look like Dr. Doom.
I remember that last kick.
That crab kick is good.
Yeah.
Crab kick is my favorite.
I like that angle, though.
Well, that Shia was always like the sidekick guy in most movies until like 2007.
I think he's good in this role of being like lore dump guy, like super eager sidekick who works as lore dump. So he just dropped, this is Papa Midnight's bar. Papa Midnight's like a huge Vertigo DC magic character.
I feel like the bar that Papa Midnight runs is basically like, oh hey, like this is like where demons and humans could like hang out with. Oh yeah. Also, hey, the Tool song.
Yeah. This is also kind of the bar from Blade, or it's Blade 2.
It's also the bar from that Knight and Squire series I love, where like all the heroes and villains hang out with, where they don't like, it's like hollow ground where they don't have to like, fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, the music! I'm like,
they turn hard to wine.
So if you don't get this, those with red eyes are demons. Those with white eyes or yellow eyes are angels.
this is like green or yellow.
It's whatever you want.
Two-Face.
Hey, buddy, you got something in your face.
And Hansu's also like perfect for this character.
Yeah, Papa Midnight looks really cool in this movie.
Yeah, because Papa Midnight in the comics is supposed to be like
This is the year before like Blood Diamond too.
This has got to be after Amistad, right?
This is way after Amistad.
Okay, so like because Papa Midnight is like a sometimes Caribbean, sometimes African. Usually he's like a slave, who in order to fight back against the slavers, does like his people perform like a magical thing where he kills his sister, and that grants him immortality and like magical powers. And he's usually like more gray than even Constantine is.
Like no one believes him. It's just like okay.
Yeah, but I do love like the way that they do lore dump in this movie is people like telling John, like, John, you don't, this is not right. This is the way it is. Dropping lore. I also like the idea of like Constantine being like a boogeyman, like a has-been kind of.
That's kind of funny. It's just like you were John Constantine, now you suck.
Hey, look, it's X, no doubt. What's her name? Gwen Stefani's ex-husband.
I was gonna say, look, kids, it's the singer from Bush. Mixed up with Gavin DeGraw, but
he is good in this movie as this character. Because I think he doesn't have to act to be like a piece of shit.
He just is.
Like an egotistical piece of shit.
Oh, yeah, this sounds like a Prodigy song.
Yeah, it does.
I feel like I've never been anywhere where there's ever strobe lights and techno music. I don't know if those bars ever do they exist in real life?
Look, man,
No
you tell me that, and you also tell me you've never lived.
Oh, I've been to many a bar, but maybe it's like just not my crowd.
I was also like half joking. Don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
There's a lot of themed bars out here in Vancouver. It's a hipster haven.
Yeah, I guess where I grew up, like, if we wanted to go to like a fancy bar, we'd go to New York, and like I've been to like jazz bars, and like,
I mean,
oh god, that sounds fun.
Without going to New York was fancy bars. If you wanted to go to a local bar, just go to like Morristown or something. That was me anyway.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's. I'd have to look. I think it was called like Fat Cat in like the East Village, and it was like a pool hall jazz bar that had like Scrabble tables and stuff, and they just had instruments that people could just go up and play, and like freeform jazz. Oh, she's LAPD.
Yeah, they said detective.
Yeah, I know, but
I thought that was established like in an earlier scene.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm like, I like all the little, like her looking at the doorway, like all the little, like little things that they do in this movie are good.
Well, it's really cool because it makes it look like to John, it's just everyday life, but to everybody else, like it's very weird.
Yeah, the world that they make is like lived in is like not even explaining it right. He gets like the dick vibe of Constantine really good.
I love Matt Ryan, but he's a pretty damn good Constantine.
Yeah, the problem is that he's not English and he's not blonde and he doesn't wear the coat. I did say like he smokes the scotch he's drinking is like the correct scotch. Which is to say, in honor of this movie, I was drinking some scotch.
Well, I'm glad.
You booby. Sounds like something you'd hear out of a National Enquirer.
I do think if they didn't have Rachel Weisz, that character could be so bad. Yeah. I feel like she lends like a good level of realism.
There was like some like actress you got off like TV or something make transition to film, it wouldn't have been as good.
Like I feel like like you can see her as being a cop and like loving her sister and not putting up with his bullshit. Also, I just noticed his hair has like
that's cool. I like that.
That was really cool. His hair is like this like cool sort of like not pompadour, but like it's kind of big.
It's Keanu Reeves' hair.
Ooh. More lore dump. I remember like when I watched this, I was like, this is the coolest idea to like build a world around. Just God and the devil playing chess.
That seems like Spawn's like version of the God and Devil.
Which this is what like Spawn was what like 97 the movie?
Yeah, 96 something like that.
I would like to point out the other writer of this movie wrote the 1991 family classic Suburban Commando.
Oh. Excellent.
I do have to say, like, this movie doesn't feel 15 years old so far, besides the existence of a fax machine and landlines.
A couple things dated, but so far it's pretty fluid.
Yeah, but I mean like
cars and streets and everything, they look a little bit, dated, but that's, again, very minor.
I mean, like, it doesn't feel like it's shot or, like, the style of it or any of that stuff doesn't feel dated. Like, I feel like if I would watch...
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was to say, like, of other movies of this time feel more dated.
Yeah, I'd say, like, especially with the cinematography, it feels very modern. Like, the camera's always moving, everything feels fresh.
Yeah.
Not this movie. I'll be very curious.
It's very kinetic in, like, good ways, even when nothing is going on. So, if you didn't remember what I said before, this rag is supposed to be a piece of the Shroud of Turin, which, do you guys know what that is?
No.
Again, what's it called?
The Shroud of Turin.
Oh, I don't.
The Shroud of Turin is a... I'll wait till this part's over.
Right, that's cool.
That was badass. Like, it has some,
that
like...
ruled.
Of the era CGI, like, it reminds me of, like, Blade with, like, the ashes. So the Shroud of Turin is, like, a piece of fabric that they say was what they covered Jesus with. And, on it, there's, like, a marking of what looks like his face. I will send a picture.
Because that's how shrouds work.
I gotta say, like, so far, this is, like, the best one we've watched.
Oh, I'm like, this whole thing
down.
was gonna be hands down, like, the best thing we watched.
Oh, the statue's gonna grab her.
I just sent it in the chat. This is the Shroud of Turin. And the idea is that, like, during the resurrection, it like burned this image into the shroud of Jesus. But to debunk all this, like, when they've done measurements, Jesus would be like 9 feet tall or something ridiculous.
God, that would be cool if Jesus was just like a 9-foot man.
If Jesus was basically as tall as the Undertaker.
So you're basically saying if Jesus was tall boy, that's what you're implying.
Yes, Jesus drank tall boys.
Oh, I hope you guys are prepared for this, because if I remember correctly, there are so many different depictions of, like, the afterlife and stuff, and this one is one of my favorites.
Deep dive of people who worked on this movie, other than the ones I don't know anyway. And hey, the guy who shot this shot The Nice Guys.
Oh, that's good.
The same year as Constantine, he also shot the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory remake. Got both Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes movies.
Oh,
the Fantastic Beasts movies, Big Fish, Planet of the Apes remake, and Remember the Titans, an Interview with a Vampire. So the guy who shot this has shot a lot.
I do like this stuff that he said, though. She's like, oh, do you need, like, a pentagram and candles? And he's like, do you got any? And she's like,
Angel, get it?
oh, that gets addressed. But yes. Since she's also had her experience, she can now see stuff.
Oh.
They get into that. Is this a real cat's face?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's 100% a cat's.
And that cat is fucking so photogenic.
I mean, like, hey, man, all cats are photogenic.
Yeah, you pull back the skin on any cat's face, and they'll look just as good as that one.
Like, it has some crazy fucking eyes. Also, again, I love, like, the way that this is shot and cut, like, to show the water, the door closing.
Movie's edited by the same guy who edited the Power Rangers movie. This is the best movie ever.
Oh yeah, because this is the part where he becomes in hell.
Yeah. So their version of hell is just like the real world, but in like a constant
fire.
It's like it's fire and like a dust storm.
Looks like it's all just rotting. It's on fire. It's just like.
Yeah,
it just looks cool. It's what Hellboy looks like. Should look like.
Yeah. This is also a movie that uses, as they say, like the whole cow. Like every single thing that you get shown gets used. So you saw he had like the holy water grenade thing. But like LA in hell looks awesome.
It's called Helle, actually.
So I did read in the notes the original idea was for it to just be like a black hole of like, and then just goopy. But I think this is so much more visceral and gross. That thing looked good. That part doesn't. Like, the practical stuff looks really good. I also like the concept of like different levels of demons.
Like soldier demon or
like worker D. I think it's part of like growing up like with DC stuff and like the rhyming demons and shit like that.
Okay, this is pretty bad.
Yeah, but it's like I can forgive like
green screen.
Yeah, I can forgive old CGI.
It's funny because I see this shot in like a lot of like late 2000s era like YouTube creators. But this shot's great.
Oh, him like, reaching up?
Yeah, like that shot's great.
I like this idea of like her like not believing, but then like she sees enough stuff where she's just like, what the fuck?
Richard twice killed herself.
Yeah, that makes sense. He just went to hell.
Yeah, I would want to also.
What
how is this possible? Do you not see me smoking
like,
literally?
Going to hell?
And we're back to buddy number 1. It's what's weird is like this guy has the Constantine coat.
Yeah, I guess he does.
Which like my wife has one of these, and like when she like wears it to work, I'm like kind of jealous. I'm like, but I feel like my build doesn't work. I would just look really fat in it.
I was gonna say, like, does your wife like role play as Sean Constantine? And you're like,
no, we did finish watching Legends today.
Look, man, like that's pretty hot. Like,
oh, do I put on a shark fin? I don't want to get into
that. Yeah, I was gonna say it's an exorcism sort of thing, but that's even better.
Oh, King Shark is a shark.
Is a shark.
I can imagine.
I am a shark.
Hey. This guy is also good at doing this, like... Do you think he was hired just because he could do that eye stuff?
Just saw the eyes and they're like, you're hired.
You know, actually, now that I recognize him, I believe he's in like a TV show where he does something very similar with his eyes. It's like a procedural, I think, like Numbers or something.
Oh, I forgot about this. Did you see what happened when he tried to take a swig?
No. He dropped it, right?
Nothing came out.
Oh.
Is alcohol
that's cool.
His senses? Or is he just gonna like...
This is like a really cool effect I've completely forgot about. Of like,
yeah, that's awesome.
Of like, but you see when he puts them back down, they start flowing?
Yeah.
That's an awesome, like... I'm sure there's like some trick of that.
It's all
but it's an awesome effect. And now he's just given up on twisting the bottles and he's just smashing them open.
Oh.
That's cool.
Like a shark circling its prey.
Yeah. I want to be like, oh, I had a really bad joke. I will say it though. There's no doubt that he's behind this, right?
Dare you. Bitch.
Oh my god. Oh my, that drool. That was some actually bad CGI drool.
Oh, it's really bad.
Because if
no blood even coming out?
he's not, he's like
leaking.
Oh, that's right. It's not drool. That's why.
Blood, right? Was it alcohol?
No, it's alcohol. So it was just tricking his mind.
Yeah, he was drowning. Wild.
Jeez. Does not look like Keanu Reeves as a child. I'm just saying.
I was actually to say I thought it was pretty good casting because he's so like strangely ethnically ambiguous.
Okay. Really? Because
he's like, isn't he like Filipino and something?
Constantine or Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves.
His dad might actually be Chinese Hawaiian.
Yeah, his dad is Chinese, English, Irish, Native Hawaiian, and Portuguese.
Okay.
And he was born in Lebanon.
Oh.
So he's like the origin of like ethnically ambiguous actors.
By the way, like he killed himself. 2 minutes in hell is a lifetime.
Yeah, I love that aspect as well. Is that like time slows down. This is also like this monologue of like lore dump over like this scene of Gavin Rosdell. That was pretty bad.
Right, that effect was not good.
No, I think like for some reason it must be like wings or feathers are really easy to do in CGI because I feel like they never look bad.
Yeah.
I love that line.
That's a cool
God's a kid with an ant farm.
Yeah, he's not playing anything.
Yeah, the guy that was the priest has been in like a million things. He was in Deadwood.
Okay. I'm looking at this movie, right? This movie's budget was
100 million.
100 million, and it made 230 million.
Yeah, it looks like 100 million too. It's really well done.
Yeah, but it only made 70 in the US.
It's upsetting.
Yeah.
It's upsetting.
So, I do think it's like they stuck it in February, and it was like what Siler said, like it's in that weird time of.
It was Hitch's second weekend.
Yeah, it's in that weird time of comic book movies, though. It's like the end of that third group of comic book movies, the third era.
Yeah, before like the modern today's era.
Because it's like this movie and Batman Begins are the same year.
I think what other comic?
We went through it before. It was this, Batman Begins, Fantastic Four, and Elektra are all in the same year.
Ooh,
and this is the beginning of the year because this is February.
In Sin City.
But Sin City is kind of out on its own because it's such a different
it's its own
animal.
property. It's like Watchmen. It's like it's its own world.
Yeah, Sin City, Watchmen, 300 are like kind of their style over everything else.
I love this dude's lair.
I was gonna say like the jars and bottles is such a good like set design.
Well, aesthetic actually.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of 2005 movies based off comic books, I swear to God, if we do some of The Mask, I'm quitting.
We talked. You were like not with us, but yeah, Siler brought that up too.
Absolutely, I'm quitting if that happens. I refuse to watch that movie. Sky High was the same year as this movie.
Yep.
The contrast.
I love that movie too.
Sky High rules.
And you know who's in that movie, right?
Elizabeth
Russell?
Baby Killer Frost. Danielle Palmbacher. Or Panabaker.
Yeah,
she's the plant. She's the poison ivy like girl.
Bruce Campbell.
Oh yeah, well yeah. There's like a ton of like all the adults. All the adults are people, and then it's got Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Danielle Panabacher, like the only kids that really did anything, I think.
Yeah. They would be the only ones. Do you watch The Expanse?
I have not. I've only heard amazing things.
Okay, because one of the guys from Sky High is like one of the leads on that show.
Oh, really?
Sorry, what show is this?
Expanse?
Oh, yeah, Expanse was great.
It was on Sci-Fi, and then it got moved to something else?
Now it's on Amazon Prime. I can attest to that show.
Yeah,
I've seen the first 2 seasons. It's fantastic. Very low budget sci-fi, but they do a lot with what they have.
Oh, the the guy who plays Jim on the show?
Yeah.
He's the fire kid from Sky High.
No shit, you're right, he is.
I always remember the fire kid as like being Discount Jacob from Twilight. Which is pretty sad because the kid from Twilight is pretty terrible.
I'll never forget his name as Warren Peace.
Yes, it is. That was oddly sexual.
Yeah, that's early 2000s movies.
But I feel like it's not supposed... Like, it's supposed to be and not supposed to be. Like, there's no sexual vibe between them. Because I would think if they did a sequel, I don't think Rachel Weisz's character would be in it.
Oh, we're not getting a sequel. We're just getting a...
I'm saying in a hypothetical, like another universe. I don't see her character to continuing on with him.
Hey, hang on a minute. Oh, there's a rumor going around there. He's getting a new movie. J.J. Abrams is producing it. It's not based off the Justice League Dark show.
But who would be Constantine?
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
There was like a weird rumor, like a side rumor that got debunked about Keanu coming back. But like, I don't think that there's... Oh, I love that it's sticky. Like his black fingers from ink.
The book is so gross and evil.
It's just screaming, like, just...
God.
You look at it. Ugh.
I want this book so bad.
This is something that, like, Doom Eternal would do, or Doom in general.
I would love, like, a big ancient tome, with, like, beautiful art.
I feel like you should then look at the Sandman books, like the omnibuses, because they look like leather, which was sadly Keanu. I feel like Keanu was connected to that for a while, and then he went to Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yeah, because I feel like I look at Keanu, I'm like, he could be a great. Even now, I feel like he could be a good Morpheus, because he has that like I wonder if he based it on him. Because he would have been around. Like, Keanu would have been a name.
The guy who relaunched Wonder Woman, Alan Heinberg, is doing the Sandman show on Netflix.
Oh. Which maybe will come out and maybe ties into Lucifer.
I mean, Alan Heinberg did the
Also did
52 Wonder Woman.
Also did Young Avengers, and he did the JLA with Jeff Johns arc. Or he did a 5-issue arc in JLA with Jeff Johns. And relaunched Wonder Woman following the Infinite Crisis.
Yeah.
Oh.
All
right. Nope, stuff is where I sign off.
So it looked good until we actually saw the fly. Like, under the skin looked good.
That was so...
That's fucking horrendous.
Yeah, that's awful.
You know what the jars remind me of?
What?
7.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I bet they did that on purpose to, like, hey, look, we're back to
Spear Destiny
the guy with the hand sword.
Oh, I love the billboard stuff. Yeah.
Is this guy gonna tie into anything, by the way? Because I feel like he just kind of is showing up.
Oh, see, I was gonna say, I wonder if Trump has seen this movie and this is why he wants to build a wall.
He's afraid.
Because, like, I listened to like this one podcast, and it reminds me that I'm like I like a lot of the same movies as him. Because his favorite movie is Bloodsport, and somebody cut him a thing where it's only the fights and the training montages.
Favorite movie is Bloodsport?
Yes. And it makes me sad because I love that movie.
I'm so sorry.
But it's like, does he appreciate Bloodsport because it's like strong guys fighting? Or
well, like I said, he is the version he watches. Oh, it's only the training montages and fights. All of it, all the rest is cut out.
It's not Bloodsport. It's essentially it's like guys who like not to get political on here, but it's like guys who love the Punisher and like wear like the Punisher logo because they think he's a vigilante.
I just
like,
missed
don't
something.
Understand like the consequences of what the Punisher is.
I just missed something. What gift did she have?
Or like it's guys who like love Watchmen and love Rorschach without understanding what Rorschach is.
John Scott. She had the same gift as her sister, where she was psychic.
Oh wow!
But like, she denied it. It's the what do you call it? The first Eddie Murphy Dr. Dolittle, where like she had it when she was a kid and then denied it and forgot she had it.
That's her basis. It's the Eddie Murphy Dr. Dolittle.
So, and then her sister went into an insane asylum, and she blames herself because, what do you call it? She went into an insane asylum because basically Rachel Weisz didn't back her up.
Yeah, she saw something, and then I guess they sent her away because of that.
I like this idea too.
Yeah, it's a cool way to like rationalize everything.
Like you see them, they see you. Like you can't go back.
I feel like Rachel Weisz's superpower of acting is like she's great at crying, and I think that's actually like a very hard thing to pull off. Like to do like a realistic like kind of stoic-y cry.
Yeah, to actually be able to cry convincingly is an incredibly hard tool.
Yeah, I like not to pin down the date that we record this, but like I watched the Devolver show yesterday, and the actor for Nina Charlotte started crying for like a video game like announcement like thing, and I was just like, holy shit.
Weird.
Always someone at Warner Brothers just like.
You could be a little bit horny, you know, it's okay just to be a little bit.
It was John Peters. I don't even know if he produced this or not.
You would think that he would say, maybe not wear white for this.
No, then you couldn't sell this movie to teens. Like I said, you can be a little bit of horny.
It's just a little bit.
Oh, I like, again, we see the tattoos. This is again like a movie, like I said, like we get like I think it's called like they use like the whole cow, like every little thing.
Yeah, even the little details that you don't really pay attention to are being used.
See, if this was Nicolas Cage, he would have actually just gotten those tattoos.
Yeah,
that sounds like a Nicolas Cage.
That's 100% true. He'd have whole cowed the whole cow, you know.
This is also like shot really well too, because that's
like kind of terrifying though.
Because that's definitely her.
Yeah, just like at the bottom.
I don't know if that's actually Keanu holding her, or if
I
it's
would
like,
say probably.
That's probably
just like an easy pickup shot to do.
Like, I like that face she just had underwater.
Yeah.
And this shot up at him is really good. Like, wait, she's just like, huh? Like, did she not know what the idea was?
Yeah, you gotta die, dude.
Hey man, he said as long as it takes.
I mean, to be fair, it's not easy to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna drown.
Would this count as a murder though?
Yes, 100%.
Well, I mean, like, not legally. I mean, for like heaven or hell.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But she does come back, so maybe forgiveness?
I like the time, like, slowing down stuff.
I didn't need that bathtub at all. I feel really bad for the downstairs neighbors.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, his apartment's all fucked.
As somebody who used to do restoration, God, that sucks.
Also, like, I guess I'm... Like,
she's, like, all smoking.
Yeah, that's a good effect. I'm guessing that the room is super... Do you think that's CGI, or do you think that that's practical?
I think that's CGI.
CGI.
What is?
It's much quicker and cheaper.
Wait, what is the
smoke stuff?
I think that's CGI, definitely.
If she was still smoking, I think I'd say it would
be real. Yeah.
It was way too quick. Oh, this is the bowling alley? Never mind, I don't feel bad.
Yeah. I thought this was back in his apartment too. Why is there a bathtub in the bowling alley?
Stairs area?
It's a old bowling alley.
I guess he lives there.
Going like, oh my god, brah.
We got the MacGuffin.
Oh, it's not even that. Do you remember who did that?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Absolute nerd.
Wow, I in my memory, Shia LaBeouf was in way more of this movie than he actually is. We haven't seen him for like a half hour, right?
No, it's been a while.
Holy shit, we're like only halfway into this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, we got like 30 minutes left.
We're at like the hour and 10 mark, right? Hour 11.
Yeah.
It's
You're
a
at
2 hour.
Yeah, hour 11.
It's also like 15 minutes for credits.
Oh, that's true.
Ooh.
Oh, I forgot that he did that, and that was fucking awesome. He just like he just like built a like super holy shotgun.
That's some like Doom shit right there.
Mm-hmm. So if I remember correctly from watching like deleted scenes, he in the beginning of the movie, I think we finally see the character here, Ellie. At some other point, his love interest is her, and they have like a post-coital scene that's cut.
Okay.
It got almost weirdly sexual.
Yeah, but I mean between him and Ellie, not her, which makes like a thing between them. Like they kind of make like a love triangle. But because that whole thing is cut off, I'm trying to remember who the actress is. Because you'll be like, oh, this actress is like, why is she in like these weird shots and why do they focus on her face? I feel like every time I hear I was born of, I just think of Bane.
That's what it looked like. Oh, that looks goopy. Ooh.
Yeah, that's some Tom Savini goop right there.
That looks like some like Tom Savini level goop or some kind of like that. Ooh.
I love the brass knuckles.
Yep,
Okay, that's
super
cool.
brawler.
But like, did they just have crosses on them?
Yeah, and all like the ornate like other symbols and knots.
Mm-hmm.
I love the makeup effects here. I
Well,
thought
yeah.
that makeup or CGI, but that looks really good.
I think it's a mix. Yeah, so the character is the actress is Michelle Monaghan. You'll remember her from Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh yeah.
Wait, hang on. Mission Impossible, Michelle Monaghan?
Yes. So you'll be like, wait, why are they concentrating on her in like this one shot? And it's because they cut out her entire character from this movie. Like she was the other female character. That like that she's like she's the demon that he's having a relationship with. I do also love his jacket, even though it's not the trench coat like the normal, I don't know, like a khaki one. I also love that this is his interrogation. That he's giving him his last rites, and he's going to send him to heaven. That's mostly practical, I bet.
I think that's all practical, except for the steam.
Yeah, I think it's like touched up with CGI, like early of like touch up. But like all the practical stuff looks good. I like that idea. Ooh, I like that effect. No, this part looks bad.
It could look better.
Like, but I like the concept of it, of like, it's like porcelain almost breaking apart.
Yeah. Dust in the wind.
Yeah. The part that looks bad is the human-y face.
Yeah.
Looks kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. I like that it's like a kind of a detective story.
It's like the Big Lebowski, but with more demons and murder.
Mm-hmm. All right.
This shot rules. This whole thing is cool.
This is like...
This is cool.
This is... Whatever they're doing, special effects-wise, looks fucking awesome. Like, him jumping from, like, through the elevator thing looked awesome.
Yeah, that was, like, really, like, through all the floors and different areas. That was so cool.
Also, like, if you guys don't have subtitles on, it's probably not, like, it would spoil stuff if you did. Because, like, it's like, oh, it's explaining what the sound is.
That's in character.
Yeah. See, I think Shiloh isn't bad in this movie. I actually like his presence. I think he adds, like, a necessary levity to the situation. That's a cool effect.
Ooh. Telling.
Like, I feel like it really helps this movie that, like, they have these great actors in it. Like, character actors doing these, like, parts to play off of Keanu.
Yeah, and they all, like, play them well, too.
And again, goddamn, like, the set design in this is fucking awesome.
on tier with like a Guillermo.
All right, I love it. You see in the background, there's like one of those wind-up monkeys with like the tambourines.
Yeah.
And there's just like a fucking head.
I see nothing wrong with this.
I need to make sure I be quiet for when you like hear what this thing is. I don't know what it is. Keanu's hair is like sometimes like ridiculous in this movie, but like I still like it.
I loved it. Oh man, personally, I love the big poofy hair.
Yeah, it's like not a pompadour, but kind of a pompadour.
It's a just mess.
It's like a blown out pompadour, but not hairsprayed.
He just pulls his hair up and then tosses it around.
I also like the amount of drinking in this movie.
Very accurate. Also wild.
Okay, that looks cool. Maybe. Not really. Just kidding now.
It's an interesting way to do this that I don't mind. And it also reties back in that character. So, like, he's turning and looking because Constantine's there.
It's an interesting way, but CGI Keanu looks like CGI Neo from Matrix 2.
No, he doesn't look that bad.
It's
here's where you'll see the shot of the...
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, I must have missed when they explained the chair. I think it's supposed to be the chair from Sing Sing or like the electric chair from one of the prisons in LA.
But thanks, Shia, with the
But like, see, like this is sort of like I like him as this character. Like, I think he plays well as like
awkward, nerdy kid who just knows a lot about demons.
Yeah, as like the guy who's just like, he's overly eager, but is like also perfect to like do world building. I can seeing this, I kind of get why he ended up getting the Indiana Jones part. That's just not as good of a character.
Yeah, it's a pretty big downgrade.
Yeah, I don't even think it's. I have to if I ever rewatch that movie, I feel like it's not his fault. I feel like he's not a bad actor. He just went fucking crazy. I feel like he's almost like
he's kind of come back now with Honey Boy and Peanut Butter Falcon.
I feel like he's in that like kind of Nicolas Cage thing where like, and like Al Pacino, where like if you have somebody, a script and a director to like put them in the right place, they're awesome. Otherwise, they're fucking horrific, like actor.
They're very intense actors, and if they're not shown that very intense thing, it doesn't. Or like if they're not given that very intense type of character, it doesn't work for them.
Also, I love that set of like the cross pool.
Yeah, it makes no sense, but it just looks cool.
I just love the fact that we have this gun.
Oh, this like giant like automatic shotgun thing is fucking awesome. I love like no energy Keanu in this movie. Like works so well.
Tired Keanu is the only Keanu that exists.
He should be tired though. Oh no. It's the evil wetback, literally. Also, I'm allowed to say that.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
I said it's the evil wetback, literally, because he's wet.
I like the little stipulation you had to give.
Yeah. Yeah, so what's her name that I mentioned? You'll get like a really like a good close up of her, and you're like, why are they hanging on this character? It's so awkward. But it's I guess like it's the only shot they have of this one scene. So, John Scott, since you have the DVD, I would suggest watching some of those deleted scenes.
Definitely will at some point.
What's funny is like I'm looking at Keanu, I'm like, I feel like Matt Ryan has the same haircut, it's just a completely different color. Where it's just like big.
Yeah, this looks like
big is a good way to describe it.
At the time, because the Matrix looks like the same thing to me.
Yeah, I guess they just like slicked it back for the Matrix. That thing looks like plastic. But I want that Zippo.
Like how his eyes
really cool.
all like rimmed around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see her there?
That one?
Great scene.
Yeah, where she says like holy water.
Wow.
It's supposed to be when in the cut scenes, like he walks in and sees her, and it's like a betrayal to him, where he's like, "What the fuck?"
Where the hell was she in? What was her Mission Impossible?
Why have I never seen this movie before? This is so cool.
So she is the character from the comic we read, Ellie, where she's like his friend who's also a demon.
Oh, okay.
And in this, they cut out. She's also his lover. But I do think like this scene is like very Blade-esque in a good way.
Good job, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
The second time she's nearly been drowned.
Yep. I do like the character designs, though.
Oh.
I do think that's one thing. Like, I like that the TV version does better. Like all the incantations.
I gotta say, yeah, and I gotta say the makeup effects on Rachel Weisz are pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the face effects.
Yeah.
She probably must have enjoyed it because it doesn't seem like it's a lot, and she never gets to play like a bad guy character. And it seems like it's simple prosthetics. It's like teeth and contacts and some makeup. Her scared face is really good.
Just good at like, oh, hello, what the fuck?
He's performing a demonic abortion.
Classic move.
I feel like isn't this like the second scene of her like wet shoes? And
yes,
it's such a weird thing that I think works so well of like panic.
Oh,
He had demon possessed Shia, that's why he went crazy.
Is Rachel Weisz that tiny, or is Keanu's hands gigantic? Because he like, I feel like his like hand was the size of her entire like abdomen. I do like that he still looks like dog shit though.
Chaz Kramer, asshole.
that's Chaz.
Oh, good. Oh, he is definitely dead. He's dead. No way. He's that. That kind of had to hurt.
Yikes!
Did you guys see that coming?
No, actually, I didn't.
Fuck.
That does suck.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf, Shia the Dead.
Hey, remember what I said about the whole cow?
Yes.
Okay, the whole army.
God,
The whole
great. Yes.
Fantastic.
hair to you.
You guys did pick up on who she is, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Gabriel, right?
Gabriel.
Yeah.
The Archangel.
And Gabriel looks so good here.
Do you think he was like, oh, can we do another take of her standing on my face?
Yeah, on the
like,
fifth
yeah.
take.
Hey, can we get like 5 takes of them standing on my?
Like her costume though is so good. Like, do you know like on her wrist is like 50 hospital bands
Oh yeah.
on both arms. It's like cool. Like they almost look like a gauntlet. Also, I think she just said that they're aliens.
Yeah, we don't have time for that right now.
Just gonna gloss over that. We'll save it for a sequel. We might do.
Yeah, fun fact, that wasn't an actual effect, that's just Tilda Swinton.
Wait, isn't this crazy? This is the same year as Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
What?
Oh my god, it is. Right.
And that was my introduction to Tilda Swinton.
And like her outfit here is so awesome.
Was everyone's introduction to Tilda Swinton, let's be honest.
She's giving him a really good blowout.
Oh, nice. I love that.
Ooh. So did you guys see that twist coming?
I did not.
Like, hey, sometimes like a good blowjob's good.
Yeah.
Ooh,
right,
very
fellas?
good. They're very nice.
She didn't use teeth, so that's important. But yeah, so John and Connor, did you see that twist coming?
No, I didn't. That's fun,
not.
And are you prepared for the best fucking scene in cinematic history?
Oh. It's gotta come down as like, nope.
This scene is just like carved into my memory for forever.
Huh.
Of like, what a cool like way to close out this film. Oh, I never noticed that. Like her wristbands say like awakening rage.
Oh, really? That's cool.
I'm guessing they say like a bunch of human emotions or something.
Or a bunch of like 2000s era new metal bands.
Oh, hell yeah.
I want to wait and hear Connor and John Scott like figure out when they figure out what he's doing.
Well, he's definitely killing himself.
It looks like he's like, cut my wrist because 2005. Something's happening.
That CGI doesn't look good, but it's still creepy. Like the sound design is really the sound design in this movie is fantastic.
666. Oh no.
Oh. About to show up.
There's a amazing shot.
That's cool.
Gross.
Are you kidding me? Is that who I think it is? Lou?
No way.
The only one I know who watches. Oh my god. Is that Lucifer Morningstar?
Yep, that's that character.
This is so weird to see since I've been watching the show. Flirting with everyone in the room.
Oh, what a helpful guy.
Oh, well, I like the accent he's doing too, because he always plays like a Russian.
Yeah, no,
but he's actually, I think he's Swedish. And the makeup design they do and his haircut, like, is so good.
He's so creepy. I love it.
Yeah. Hey, talk about Big Lebowski.
Oh.
I like that even, like, with the devil, he's, like, known as a con man.
Yeah, man, you can't shock a shuckster.
He's just like, it's another one of your cons, and it's just like, literally look behind you and tell me I'm wrong.
He's, like, I love him as an actor, and this is, like, the role he was, like, built for.
Wet feet and all.
Yeah. Because, like, I do like him in American Gods. Like, everything he's done, he's so good in. But this is, like, the role he was born to play.
Oh, yeah. Like, he's losing control here. It's so fun to watch.
Yeah. I love the makeup. Like, this is, like, a cool use of, like, that bullet time stuff post-Matrix.
I do love that his feet are all, like, dark and inky.
Well, that's from the comic. You weren't on the episode, but like what we read in the comic, he drops down. Lucifer drops down, but he looks like Jesus in the comic, and it's supposed to be like coagulated, rotting blood from the crucifixion.
That's cool.
Oh.
Sweet.
Okay, that's cool.
Like, isn't this such like a good way to like close out this like whole thing?
That's kind of cool.
It's pretty rad.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the hero doesn't save the day.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, my stream just ended.
My screen also just ended.
Okay, so I guess I could narrate a little bit.
Yeah, I imagine we don't miss too much after this, because that was pretty baller.
So they have the conversation, and he's like, oh, what do you want? An extension to Keanu? And he says, "No, I want the sister, the twin, to go home." Here, if you want to try my stream again, you could click on it.
All right, there we go.
I'll just read it.
And he's like, "Oh, so you want to give up your chance at living again to go to heaven? For her to go to heaven?" And it's done.
Yeah, do we want to do like voices, by the way? It's like, time to go, John.
He's like, yeah. Because this is also such a good shot. I love how they do it. I really hope you can see it, Connor. So he grabs...
I can, yeah, I am watching it. I'm just, I can't hear the audio.
Now.
Just dragging him along.
The casual little whistle.
I never noticed all the clothes on the floor before of like all the demons he killed.
I like that he's like heavier and it's like
the ground CGI looks terrible, but I still love the concept.
Wait, what?
I do like that he's dressed like he should be going to like an all-white party in Miami.
I'm actually just wearing the same shirt as he is right now, but mine's covered in pineapples.
All right, so do you guys get what happened?
Yeah, God's giving him a second chance.
Because he sacrificed his second chance at life.
Yeah.
It cleaned his sin.
Peter Storman, calm down. Fuck you.
I remember this looking like really horrible. Like in a painful way.
Ooh.
Yeah, it looks awful. Oh, he's got no molars.
He basically pulls a cancer out of his body.
I like the way it looks too, that it's black like the other stuff.
Black and tar and steaming.
Ooh.
Which like works so good against like the clean white suit.
Yeah.
But that kind of explains what's covering his feet. It's just more cancerous material.
Yeah. Because there's like nothing dirtier than like that tar stickiness.
Yeah, I just think the visual design for Lucifer is just really well done.
It's Lucifer and Gabriel are the best parts of this movie. And,
hands down.
And it's like not putting down the rest of the movie, but they're just so far and away perfectly cast and perfectly like the character design and the dress and Keanu's six-pack.
Definitely Lucifer. Lucifer definitely gave him a six-pack.
And I feel like the Constantine having cancer like is a continuous thing because even in the last season of Legends of Tomorrow, like him having cancer from smoking was like plot point. She'd be like, "Sorry, all your friends died."
But hey, your sister's in heaven, so thumbs up. And hey, Angel, Tilda Swinton, step on me.
Ooh.
It's interesting how, like, for Rachel Weisz, when she went to the pool when wearing white, it was, like, very white. And when Tilda Swinton, because she's the bad guy, it's, like, very dirty.
I'm good.
Again, like Tilda Swinton doing like some great face acting.
Yeah.
She's an amazing actress.
Yeah, I feel It's also like I'd have to say like the prosthetics that they're using for like the back of the wings, like it looks her like whatever the vest thing they're doing looks terrible in some of the shots from the front.
Yeah.
Like it makes her look fat, which she's not at all. She's like the skinniest thing on earth.
She's an ethereal being.
See, like it's shots like this where I'm like, if he was in the other coat, that I think would look so much better than the black on black.
Yeah, it would stand out more.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, hey, it's
I know.
Black on black was the look.
Oh yeah.
I know.
At least it wasn't leather, you know?
Like, I get the arguments about him being not English, but like I think like that little bit would have changed it. And I still don't get why to not make him English, except Keanu can't do that accent. We know that because of Dracula.
That's true.
Just basically be like, oi!
Oi!
Would have laughed really hard if the end of this movie Constantine just dives off the roof of a building and he's just like,
oh no, you're gonna be even more surprised at the like end thing.
if it's Shia LaBeouf and angel wings flying over and it says the end, I will laugh hysterically.
Yeah, it's like Bewitched.
I can't wait. I like that it's like there's definitely something there, but that they don't really give into it that much.
I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like John Constantine doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's also.
Oh no, John Constantine fucks and he fucks everything. But like, I rather
But
him
having a solid emotional connection? Nah.
Yeah, I'd rather them not have a thing than him to not be like pansexual.
Oh, and he definitely would not have been pansexual in the year 2005.
Oh no,
That's very true.
Like John Constantine, if they make like a Justice League Dark and he's in it in like 2023, might be pansexual.
Isn't it crazy to say 2023 and that's like a real year that we'll see movies?
Yeah, well, hopefully listen by then. Am I right, fellas?
I do remember that. I like the he's taking like Nicorette. Right,
Oh, I thought he was just like chewing gum.
Hold on, I have to get to.
Oh, there's that after.
Was there an after credit?
Oh,
hey,
Conan
look,
the Barbarian! Is Conan the Barbarian our next watch party?
That's on my queue. That's why
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
I've never seen it. I kind of don't want to see it.
Sorry, I'm just skipping forward to get to
the Arnold Schwarzenegger or the Jason Momoa one?
Oh,
okay.
Chess Kramer.
So, John Scott, you have to go to.
I'm fast forwarding right now.
159. And he puts down his sweet ass custom lighter that Zippo made for him.
That's baller.
Which Conan? Which Conan the Barbarian? There's like two.
The Jason Momoa
one. That was the ad we saw.
No way.
Oh my God, wait,
you're kidding me.
Why?
You never saw this?
You're kidding me.
No.
Oh, really?
Oh
this
my
is back
God.
way before the MCU. John Constantine did after credits things.
This is the stupidest shit. Oh my God, his face looks horrible.
Yeah. Right? I can't believe it.
I mean, is that what I was supposed to read? Is that he's an angel now?
Yeah, he's an angel now.
Oh my God.
That was such bad CG.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of the movie? I want
to
the two.
I had fun. I had a fun time.
So when we start, John Scott as the first time viewing,
I thought it was fun. I like the lore building. I appreciate the visual style. Like this definitely has its own kind of jewels to it that I definitely appreciated. The mix of, like, looked like practical mixed with CGI. And okay, yeah, Keanu's good. I still prefer Matt Ryan. That's just how I think of it every time. But Keanu's still really good in the movie.
Connor, because this is your first time seeing this.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. I had a ton of fun with this movie. I went in not expecting literally anything. Like I'd heard that it was good, but I was definitely blown away by pretty much everything in that movie, and kind of bummed out that we're not getting a sequel or anything.
Like, I would like to see Keanu come back in the role.
I would like him to be like, I don't know, an advisor or something to John Constantine. Have him be like the older character that makes all the gadgets or whatever. To like a younger, newer John Constantine. But regardless, I really enjoyed that. I don't know if we want to like kick off the power rankings, but for whatever it's worth, this just goes at the number 1 spot now. Cats has finally been dethroned.
Yeah, I'll say to Siler, because you and me have seen this movie before. What are your thoughts on the rewatch?
I mean, like, I thought the movie originally when I saw it was like, I thought it was like pretty fun, and that was as someone who has not read Constantine, and like also as someone who still hasn't read Constantine, because I mean it's also like just very daunting. It's 200 issues, but I think the movie is like still like pretty fun. It's still like a film of the ages. Like I think Keanu Reeves is like really fun in the role. There's like a lot of really good upsides in this movie. Like it's kind of unfortunate we never got a sequel. And I think like, you know, again, like by default, you know, not to spoil my list, but it's like we watched a lot of bad movies. Like even like the film that's at the top of my list that I actually have a lot of fun watching is a really bad movie. I think this is the first film we've watched that's like an actual good movie that has good roles, good story, like does like, you know, does the base like core storyline of the comics pretty well.
Yeah, I have to say, like, yeah, this is obviously like the best movie we've seen. It has like, I don't even know if on paper this probably doesn't even have the best actors of anything that we've watched. Cats probably has the best overall cast because it has what, like 3 Oscar award winners in it.
Oh yeah, it has like a bunch of Oscar winners and like Grammy winners and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it's
and this
studded.
Has Tilda Swinton ever won an Oscar? I feel like no.
She's won an Oscar to my heart.
Yes, but like, yeah, but I think this is like almost cast perfect. Like, I get the complaints about
she won an Oscar. She won an Oscar for Michael Clayton.
Oh, okay. I feel like I understand the problems of people like being like it's making him not British. I understand the issue of that, but I think Keanu does an amazing job. And watching this makes me think is like, I want him as Morpheus so bad. Like, I know it's like slightly different. It's still kind of in the Vertigo thing.
Yeah, and I think like also like him being older, he worked for, you know, because like there was like maybe about like 5 years ago where Joseph Gordon-Levitt was rumored to be Morpheus, and it's like, man, like that guy plays. Like, I feel like that guy's like a little bit too young to play Morpheus. Like, you know,
he looks too young. He's not like, he's like 40.
Like 50-year-old Keanu Reeves, I feel like is like someone who is, you know, a little bit more world weary to play like someone like more.
Yeah, like there's like, I think with him, like the John Wick hair, like and his look, he would work perfect. And I feel like I would rather have that than him come back as Constantine. But like, I think he does a good job of like being the character, except that he's not like that Cockney British thing. Like, I'm trying to think of how to put it. Like, he's almost like too clean. Like, I wish they would have like had him like he's too clean shaven. I wish he had 5 o'clock shadow in the movie, and that would have maybe been the only thing I would have wanted out of
just
his
tie a little bit closer to the character. Like you're totally right. It didn't have to be like major things, like even the hair and the jacket, like and the red tie and everything. Like you could put that to the side, but like even just having small things like facial hair or anything would help like tie the character back to the comics a little bit more. And it seems like a smaller thing.
Yeah, like it would have made him feel a little bit dirtier. Like he pulled off being sick really well, but like not as and being sick and being a dick. But he didn't pull off like the grimy con man nature. But I think with the part that like when you're watching this movie, that's like I wish we had a sequel, is because of they spend so much time fleshing out this amazing world that we are never revisiting.
The world building and the characters themselves, even, like I would say.
Yeah, I said it earlier, but like it's on par with like a Guillermo del Toro film in level of set and attention to detail. It's really nice.
Yeah, and I guess like that's the part where it's like looking at the other things we've watched, especially like looking at Hellboy as like a direct comparison, because it's like a first movie to build a world. It's like they do so much in this movie, and it's the same length movie to build that world. And I don't know what the fuck they did in Hellboy, besides their shitty CGI that was equally as shitty as this movie from 15 years ago. And it makes me more mad at that movie, watching this movie. Right? Like, it's just like, like, it's like, okay, like, all right, I would, like, because then it's up, like, because they're in the same kind of, like, it's what we've done for, like, a bunch of the comic book movies we've done. It's like a horror comic. It's like, they're in the same sort of realm, and it's like they're playing with the same things. And this movie hits everything right. And it just it wasn't a financial success in the US, and that's why nothing came of it. While like everything else we've done, it's like Hellboy, it's like, it's a reboot of a movie series with a whole new everything, and it doesn't work. But Trinity
I feel like this movie might have done as well as Hellboy.
Oh, financially, it probably did as well as Hellboy.
So it's like, why?
Wait, are you talking about 05 or 04 Hellboy or 2019?
I mean, 04 Hellboy.
Why would we ever talk about 2019?
Yeah, the 2019 was the one I was comparing to. I'll look up how.
Because I mean, okay, so I'm looking at it now. Is the box office for Hellboy 2014 is 100 million flat with a $66 million budget, and I feel like compared to like what we got with Constantine, it's pretty comparable, if not like a little bit better. But like I don't know if like that's also just dictated by DC at the time is also like.
Well, yeah, because it came out the same year as Batman Begins, so they're maybe rebranding.
Well, like, and also like not only that, but like Infinite Crisis, and I feel like maybe like a year or two later we get Jonah Hex. And
God,
is that 2010?
And so like a lot of DC film division is like very rudderless. Like we get The Losers also like not too far later, which is like actually like a good movie. Like watch The Losers. But like also it's like Losers is not a franchise movie. So I feel like even if like Hellblazer actually did like unless Hellblazer did $500 million, like we wouldn't have gotten a sequel like no matter what.
I'm actually looking at the 2004 Hellboy, and it's interesting because that movie was made for 66 million, which I'm like, how is that a 66 million and Constantine's 100 million? Because I feel like there's way more special effects in Hellboy, and it made like just under 60 million domestic and under 100 million worldwide. So Constantine was a better financially worldwide movie, but worse domestic.
but Hellblazer made like $200 million. Like
worldwide, yes.
Which, like, I don't know. Like, this is also like maybe at a time where the worldwide domestic gross does not matter as much as
I'm guessing it doesn't, because like this is pre-China, which then it's like that movie could even be shown in China anyway. And I think it's one of those movies being sold on Keanu Reeves's name.
This is 2 years after The Matrix too, so that's kind of off that.
Yeah, just having his name attached to it is going to make like a shit ton of money overseas. Oh, it's like it's weird and interesting. Yeah, because Constantine comes out almost like a little bit less than a year after Hellboy, and it does better in most Matrix, like most of like the stats, and it doesn't get the sequel. And it's also like not as well remembered as Hellboy. And it's interesting because I feel like it's just as good. Maybe it's like it's not as light as Hellboy is at points.
I think it's just because it was coming out during a time of like a bunch of other movies that look and felt the same. Like The Matrix was also kind of around that time, and X-Men and Blade and all sorts of other like dark, gritty, not like super powered and like supernatural themed thrillers. Like Underworld was also around this time too. So it was all just kind of a culmination of people maybe just getting kind of bored of this genre of supernatural action thriller. And in this case, I guess Constantine just paid the price of fatigue. At least that's my theory behind it, because I love this movie. I thought it was a ton of fun. But like I wish back in the day it got more success and got a sequel, because I'd love to watch more from this universe and with this crew.
Yeah, so Blade Trinity was the year before. I think maybe that's like the supernatural action movie maybe is like the problem as less than the comic book. Because let me look and see. When was that really bad Van Helsing movie?
2004.
I feel like that movie killed the supernatural like action movie.
Man, I watched that movie and I don't remember anything of that movie, and I remember driving home and falling asleep at and I almost drove into a ditch.
Like, I remember like Bad Werewolves, and the ending of that movie is everybody dies except for Van Helsing and his assistant, who somehow gets laid.
Yeah, they wanted to make that a series, but guess what?
His assistant, who's also the villain of Iron Fist season 1.
You're right.
Yeah, so I think we all have this as number 1 right now. Yeah, so we don't really have to.
As much as it pains me to have Cats be number 2 now, I can't. I gotta pick Constantine. It's a better movie.
Yeah, no sacrifices must be made.
Yeah. And I think this marks our end, at least for now, of doing like the horror comic movies. Mm-hmm. And we need to decide what our next move is. Maybe we'll jump into the pulp 90s comics and / comic movies, like Dick Tracy or The Phantom or The Shadow.
I've never seen any of those.
Yeah, neither have I.
Oh, I The Phantom, which is like I feel like the only like the pinnacle of Billy Zane.
Also Darkman. Like Darkman, I feel like is like within that 90s ball.
Yeah, but Darkman's like it's Sam Raimi didn't get to do Batman, so then he did Darkman.
I mean, also if we're doing like classic, we could do like classic newspaper strip comic adaptations, and we could also do Dennis the Menace.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh god!
And Garfield. Don't make me watch Garfield.
And Garfield and the Little Rascal.
Tale of Two Princes.
I thought you were going with the one that we've talked about is
Garfield, the Tale of Two Kitties.
Oh yeah, Tale of Two Kitties.
The other one we've talked about, which is Green Hornet, and then
I was going to bring that up.
And reading the what could have been, which got turned into a comic, the Kevin Smith one, which I actually like, and then the movie we got with Seth Rogen, which I don't like.
And I remember like actually kind of liking that movie, but like I also have not seen it.
Yeah. I also feel like I would want to prep myself and watch an episode of the show, at least one episode.
I also do not want to read any Green Hornet comics.
Yeah, I would say like if we were to do that, I would want to read maybe either for Green Hornet, the Kevin Smith one, or for any of the other one, Masks. We could also watch Zorro, any of the two Zorro movies.
Yeah, well, it's like it's like kind of funny because like I don't have any emotional connection to Dick Tracy or the Shadow or the Phantom or Green Hornet. But and I guess like I wouldn't be. I feel like if we were gonna like read any of these stories, we would have to read like the original like 30s, 40s era comics of these, and not
I would say whatever their
version of these characters. And I say
whatever they're pulling from.
No one else is going to be doing the Shadow comics other than Dynamite in the last like 10 years.
Yeah. Whatever they're pulling from, unless we want to read Masks, which I've heard is amazing.
We can also decide on this during the week because we have
Yeah, and it's also almost 1 a.m. So let's close out. So we already kind of ranked this movie. Quick round of plugs before we end the show.
You can find me at Maybe Connor on Twitter and at Question Connor on Twitter and at Maybe Connor on Instagram. That's what I'm doing right now. Pushing it over to one of the Johns.
I've got nothing. Neither can go.
You can find me at John JOHN_FN_Seiler SEILER. Where you see me talk about stuff that we're releasing. Company I work for, or me shit talking Ubisoft because there was a Ubisoft presentation today, or me glowing about Card Capture Sakura because I've been watching that recently and I think that show is very rad.
Okay, so I guess that leaves me. So be sure to check out all the other podcasts, comment, leave 5 stars, tell a friend, and we will catch you guys next time, and we'll figure out what we are going to watch. Don't forget to check out Comics, all the other shows, and